Where are my Virgos and Pisces in the room? Because this is going to be an interesting week. So you already know that we're in eclipse season. We are officially in the eclipse corridor, which is the period in between eclipses. So again, the first was over the weekend, September 7th, we had a lunar eclipse in Pisces, and the next eclipse is happening on September 21st, which is a new moon eclipse in Virgo. But wait, there's more. So this week is poised for a lot of change. That's because the sun, which can represent the self, both higher and lower, it can also represent the father, personality, ego, as well as Mercury, the planet of communication, filter, perception, that is linking up with the south node, basically old karma, basically old habits. And this isn't the first time a planet has linked up with the south node in recent memories. Back in July 20th to be specific, we had Mars and the south node linking up. And it's the idea that the sun and Mercury this week are kind of like going over roughly the same degree, which would mean that potentially events from that time could be coming up in the mix this week. And what I really want to say is back on July 20th, I remember the anxiety being so through the roof because Virgo wants to be in control. It wants to know the outcome. It wants to understand. We have a game plan B, C, D, E, F, G in case that first one doesn't work. I need to have certainty. But with the Virgo and Pisces eclipses, there's a lot about releasing certainty and trusting in the unknown. Almost like, do I have compassion for myself to not feel like I have to hold myself to this unimaginable perfect standard when really I can cut myself some slack. I can cut other people some slack. I can cut us all slack. And admittedly, this is really great energy to channel into something productive. However, I do want to caution that some of you, especially if you have very heavy Virgo placements in your chart, I need to get everything in order. I need to make sure that I launch this. Or maybe you might not even have a lot of Virgo in your chart. Maybe that's just the general energy that you're kind of coming into if you're especially attuned to energy. An important thing you can do for yourself this week is to prioritize. You're probably not going to have all the energy to tackle your entire to-do list, but you should narrow down what feels the most important for you and proceed from there. It's all about baby steps. It's a lot about progress, not perfection. And if you're wondering, how do I even determine what's a priority? That's where the North Node in Pisces comes in. There is a lot around intuitive hits. There's a lot about following the gut, Virgo, but there's also the Mercury Cazimi happening on September 13th, which should give you that inflection point, which should give you that clarity, which should give you the marching orders that go, wait a minute, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is the time I'm on right now. All to say, if you're exhausted and you're sickly, the body's telling you something. The body represented by Virgo, so rest is also an important part of the equation.